Okay, hi folks, welcome to the Friendly Open. This is Season 5, Event 4, and we're about to watch the final between Radek with Kraken and Alex with Martell, Knights of the Hollow Hill, the two undefeated players after 4 rounds of Swiss. As you can see, 25 players registered today, but some of them didn't make it in the end, so about 20 players that actually played, and a few with just a couple of games. And the interesting thing this time is that no Greyjoy decks among the 25. Again, as is common in these Friendly Open events, Lannister on top with 5 entries, so also Martell, and then the other factions all with 4 or 3 and 1 Tyrell. That actually did okay, as you can see. And final about to start. So we have 2 decks that like to play lots of resets. The long game, as you can see, the Friendly Open preset has been selected here, which means there will be a 55-minute time limit, and I have a strong suspicion that we will need all the time here for this one. So Kraken deck that likes to discard locations with Night Flyer and getting the loop with Tyrion. And the Martell deck plays Political Disaster, and is of course has the agenda that provides some gold, so it resists that pretty well in theory. Red Keep and the Gold Road. So not sure if there are any really strong single triggers that the Red Keep would like to cancel here. As you can see, Venomous Blade added did some damage in the previous game in the 4th round for Alex. And immediately cards in shadows for Radek. I think he has a reasonable suspicion here that there won't be any barring the gates or any exposed duplicity, so he can just go for it fully here. Yep, and actions being taken. So that's the first Night Flyer played to get rid of the Dornish Fiefdom. And some choke obviously will make a difference here, because in the previous game I watched the penultimate round where Alex had 11 gold available on Morgulis, and that was, I think, after Political Disaster had already been played, so pretty crazy. So getting rid of these that provide 2 each is pretty good. And yeah, Dorn could be targeted by Night Flyer for sure later, although it takes a bit more gold to get rid of that. Okay, Marauders. Taking a few cards, not too bad. And Judgment to cancel the cancel. It's difficult, I think, for Radek here to target the hand, because this Martell deck draws really well. So obviously with Dorn on the board you can't do challenges without giving draw away, and then secret schemes as well, and already a draw plot in the first round. We might see something else. And Late Summer Feast itself, of course, gives cards to Martell. So not going for a challenge here, nothing to gain. Okay, first clever feint, no cancel for that one. And that takes Night Flyer back, which means with a full investment of 4 gold, the Dorn could be discarded. And yeah, so the hand was revealed earlier. Radek, I'm sure, had a good look. Let's see. Yeah, something with cost 1 and cost... There's a cost 3 in there. Cost 6 as well. So can't target the 1 at the moment with the Marauders. Here is another Late Summer Feast. Yeah, Radek happy just to mostly pass these early rounds. It's a deck that excels in the long game, but of course that means it's slow to gain power, and for sure the Martell deck likes the long game as well. Okay, so Tyrion will need some company here, otherwise he could get marched, and he takes Night Flyer back into shadows, so any location that gets marshaled here will immediately be gone. Okay, and that's now got that cost 1 in the discard pile. And Radek tries to cancel the fiefdom. Which leaves it at 2 gold for Alex. 2 gold roads, just enough to bring the Marauders in. And with counting coppers, there could be further cards. Obviously you could pick 2 again, because that seems to be the preferred cost for Martell. Yeah, going for 1, and secret schemes, obviously, always nice to get rid of. Not as strong at the moment, not as strong as it was. I mean, when at the gates was able to find Galtown in round 1. And then immediately Secret Schemes drew 2 or 3 cards. And here is some company for Tyrion, so yeah, hand not that big though, so not that many options apart from just recycling either the Marauders or the Night Flyer. I think both players played a Stranger in their decks, so that will be interesting at some point as well. Okay, political disaster against the Father. Father might fizzle completely here, and the PD gets rid of 1 Gold Road and the Night Flyer. I wonder if there is another one available, or if Radek thinks it's not worth repeating this over and over again. Sunspear, pardon me, Starfall, so if that stays on the board, that takes potentially the power icons. At the moment, no power to steal. Makes sense to go for Intrigue instead. Just paying for this. Tyrion with 2 dupes. Not worth taking back to hand, of course. And Marauders put into Shadows instead, but now there isn't enough gold to replay them. And Burning stops claim here as well, although now Alex is above reserve and still 4 gold left, so I'm assuming he has some tricks of his own for the challenges phase here. and trying to get that, one of those last two cards, and this is a good hit, because that was one way of getting rid of that annoying starfall. And we see a couple of cards thrown away here. Blade and his Viper Eyes. He does play the Citadel Archivists as well, which could be useful at some point, or maybe not, because you don't want to give Lannister those clever feints back, potentially. So, anyways, we have two hands judgments here and a clever feint. And on the other side we have the vengeance, we have the burning, and his Viper Eyes. Also secret schemes is available, and the cancel. Last of the giants. And there is Marauders in shadows, so any events that are discarded now will be gone for Alex. And this is a useful source of draw for Radek, who is running out a bit here. So does he continue cancelling that economy? This time the red keep stays standing. Or something more important, I guess. Secret schemes cancelled. Let's see who wins this one. So there is another hand's judgment. So both now gone, and here we have one of them gone. There is also this, he calls it thinking, but Radek does have gold. That's a pretty useful character here. One trigger per round will be probably cancelled by the red keep now. Maybe that Marauders triggers that Radek will for sure attempt here. So what else is left? The vengeance event, so not worth doing anything here for Radek with those available. He does have the clever feint still, but at this point, okay, Marauders can go back, and this Regent's Guard, so not that much value. I think Begging Brother will cancel this, and then Red Keep will cancel Begging Brother. Dornish Spy, the only card that was hit here, so still left in hand is choosing the Spear. Jaqen H'ghar and Varys Jaqen H'ghar can come into play with Last of the Giants here, but with double duped Tyrion he's not gonna do a lot of damage. think we'll see a vengeance on this one probably from the discard pile. And the last card was Varys. He wasn't going to kill anything in this game, I don't think. Okay, so looks like that Alex is in a better spot here. Has access to more cards. Radek is not going to bother with the other challenges. Military icon taken. Choosing the spear is in hand. The last of the giants. We have Chikanagar and Varys in hand. Well, taking one dupe from Tyrion. Yeah, it could be a long game, and Morghulis and the Stranger, and Tyrion eventually gets killed. So we'll see if Radek is able to take him off the board. He has Clever Feint available in the discard pile. Probably not this round because he took another card for claim. Okay, so 2 cards in hand against 2 cards in shadows. Board pretty similar. Economy okay for both players, so pretty close at the moment, but of course the agenda, the longer the game goes on, more you get out of that. Three pilots for Radek. Here is the Stranger. I think Morghulis has to be in the deck as well. And we have marched. Okay, so Alex going first this time because he can manipulate this in a way to get rid of Tyrion, I think. All 3 discarded, but he is still alive, in theory. Let's see if the Citadel Archivist triggers at some point. And keeping all of his cards in hand. And Radek, nothing on the board either. But there is some gold to play around with, and here we go. So now Marauders knows that there is a 0 cost card in hand, and the others, we have Varys, and the last one is now Ariane Martell. So actually nothing that can come into play. Alex going for the power icon, and I wonder if there is an intrigue icon available in shadows. There's also still this Lion Gate, so now Radek does go for it, because he's running out of cards. Oh, of course there is the Regent's Guard. Nothing to return to hand, so he has to pay for it. And now the character will be gone. And now Alex is the one that needs some draw desperately. Very useful. Okay, so I'm guessing there is Morghulis on both sides and the Stranger for Alex. Maybe not. March to the wall against the Stranger, nothing happens. And if they do have Morghulis, they've both saved it as the last plot, so anything that gets played now gets potentially gets killed, and perfect top deck here for Alex, getting that Secret Schemes in the last round where it still draws the 5 cards. That should be enough for at least 1 card from shadows. I think it will come later after Alex is done, because Starfall could take the military icon and it would get killed. And now just getting some unopposed to catch up on power. This is around the halfway point on time, so looks like it might finish on before time expires. There's lots of unopposed power gained by the players here. Red keeps Ariane in play. Limit once per phase, so can do it again. Now is there something that can come into play for 2? No. Going for dominance, and that's it. And of course escapes before Morgulis. And with the leftover gold, Night Flyer takes some economy. And here is where the agenda is a lifesaver for Alex. Gets those 5 even on a 2 gold plot, and then some additional here. And now the problem for Radek might be that the political disaster can get replayed soon. Decent economy on these two, of course, but he won't want to reveal these two in the late game. Thinking about something in the dominance phase. Lay waste. Trading his own Starfall for Water Garden, so I'm guessing he must have secret schemes in hand and wants to draw another 5 in taxation. Nice. One removed already, but he drew the other 2 at just the right time. Now he has a massive advantage in number of cards here. Of course, it's not 8-0, it's more like 8-5 because Radek has a full shadows area. Not that much gold. And now the red keep will be saved for something important. Yeah, so now that the plots recycle, I think Alex is in a better spot. Annals for him gives him access to, maybe not next round, but in a few rounds if the game still is still played, he will have decent secret schemes again, and he has the set claim to 0 and okay, vengeance is spent, and he also has political disaster. Secret pact on Hagen's daughter stops her attacking in the power challenge. Claim is 0 anyway this round, and now Starfall is gone, so Alex can no longer dominate the power challenge. And this time Nighttime Marauders misses pretty badly. So we have, let's see what we have. Another Hand's Judgment, Lay Waste, Lysa, and another one, and Vengeance, so pretty much anything Alex needs here. One Marauders is dead now, and one is on the board. No obvious way to recycle him. And now the red keep is not used at all because there isn't any gold. So Alex takes a slight lead. Is it time for political disaster, or do you save it for maybe a the following round. Getting events in the discard pile because NLC is available. Okay, 2 gold plot, and going first, so that takes, let's see, so we have 1 for the fiefdom and a grow here, and this is for non-characters, so nothing much can be marshaled, and now Ariane is in danger of possibly getting killed if I was going to say if the red keep cancels her, but there is a child as well. And trying to get Tyrion back. Alex down to 15 cards in deck, but I'm sure there are Citadel Archivists. That would be amusing if now Radek decided to try to cancel the Archivists and stall the game until Alex runs out of cards. Boros brings in Bandon, so he doesn't trigger because he didn't come into play from Shadows, but even if he did, easy to get rid of some cards. But now obviously Radek just needs to oppose as many challenges as he can, because that's the only way in this game that any power is gained. It's just unopposed and potentially power claim. There's absolutely no renown anywhere. There's no Duran's game or anything like that. Okay, that's pretty good now for Radek to get rid of Ariane. Still no power icon because Hagen's daughter cannot attack. I said no renown, so Secret Pact can give renown, I guess, in theory. And getting rid of the intrigue icon as well, so just the military here for Radek, who is now going to take the lead after dominance. And no more goalies to come now because both left it as the 7th plot. Regent's Guard takes Mandonmoor back to hand. So there is another power for unopposed. And that's 10 now for Radek. And what's coming here? Another Levest, or is it possibly Last of the Giants into Varys was the plan, but that gets cancelled. And shuffling clever feint back, but maybe Annals is coming, so you don't want to shuffle all the events out of your discard pile. Misty Morn takes back Begging Brother and Houseden Escort. More than anything, they are useful power icons. So this one is locked. If Starfall sees play as well, then Radek is in trouble as far as the power challenge is concerned. Lannister already struggles by default. And now Political Disaster gets rid of some economy. Happy to take Robert Strong back, because there might be another one waiting. And now I think we might see a few of these charts come into play. Just to compete in the challenges game. Yeah. 13 cards left in deck. Should be 7 gold with the gold roads, so that's effectively 6 if you want to keep the red keep standing to be used on something. Enough for Robert Strong, or for 2 smaller characters potentially. And if he does have Robert Strong, he might just go for it here. It's the one challenge that makes a difference now. Okay, Catspaw. So needs to pay 2 to get rid of the escort. That stops the power challenge. Redkeep needs to keep cancelling the Begging Brother, so that leaves him 2 to bring out a power icon of his own if he can. That's now 12. So the stranger can pick 2 or 3 here, in theory. It is a threat. Also, Annals is an option for Alex. And the father is not doing much in this game, didn't do anything the first time round, but has decent gold. And now Alice, so there is one clever feint, but no hands judgments. One gone. I think there are two in hand from what I saw earlier. And lots of events here, so vengeance and burning. There is secret schemes and also cancel here on a misty morn. Problem is the limit. If you don't have any gold before the marshalling, that means you basically have 4 events to work with. 2 in marshalling and 2 in the challenges phase. And on a misty morning is not doing anything, so going for some additional draw with secret schemes. But what he really wants, I think, is just one round where he can get some unopposed power and not have power against him. Ooh. That can cancel annals. It will be costly though. He needs to pay 1 and 1 for the red keep to cancel Begging Brother. And then the last one for he calls it thinking, and that's down to 0 gold, and then he has 2 gold roads. So what happened exactly? Did he have 2 of these? So maybe triggering the gold roads first was the thing to do. He could have paid both then, but still it's a huge gold problem for Radek. Still left without any power icons apart from Hagen's daughter, who can't attack. From his point of view, he has the clever feint option now still. And Alex played, I think he played 1, he calls it, or did he play both from hand? Possibly he played both from hand, so he still has 2 of these events available from the discard pile. That's 1 played here. Radek is done because of all the cancels and the claim modifiers here, so can Alex get a power challenge through? He needs one. There could be just one more round after this. So if he goes into that round, it's a similar scoreline to what he has now, 12-8. It's going to be tough to recover. So here comes Lysa. She will be killed at the end of the phase, and Radek is gone. Oh, this one can be defended by the Kraken's daughter. And intimidating the military icon. But there is a clever feint still available. He can play it and bring Boros back for one, in theory. Claim 2. Kraken's daughter goes back to Shadows. And the secret bag goes back to hand. Good round for Alex, and surely now the red keep will be removed. Yeah, so that was the one in the discard pile. Second hand judgment gone. I think he has another one in hand though, from what we saw earlier when Marauder revealed the hand. Okay, 11-11, couldn't be closer. Okay, not a big deal for Radek. Now, let's see what the secret scheme situation is. So one still available. That could be done in the standing phase. And there goes the last hand's judgment. Actually, what am I talking about? There won't be any secret schemes played now because he's down to 7. And Late Summer Feast is not going to be used either if Radek reveals it. Okay, so what now? Let's see. Strangers still available. Or just maybe just the economy for Radek to play whatever this is. Yeah, and marched on the other side, which isn't too bad. And this will be the final round now. There isn't time. Again, stopping the power challenge. Four cards left. Stops the red keep, although not sure. There don't seem to be any obvious triggers here, so must have something like a Dornish Spy in hand, perhaps, or a Shadow City Bastard. So time's about to run out, 4 cards left, so he can just about just about draw for the Late Summer Feast, although Night Marauders does have Pillage, so careful. And here comes a power icon, so is there something to remove it? No, but Begging Brother is available to defend, and here we go. So that's the last remaining gold, assuming there isn't in Duran's name. But I think that wins it for Alex. Radek wins dominance currently. So can he defend the power challenge is the question. See in a second, just checking. It's around 11, that's pretty impressive. Okay, here comes Catspaw, so it stops the power challenge going through. Although why not defend this with the character that has renown? So what's the situation for dominance now? So it's 6 on this side, and we have Radek just about wins it, yeah. That puts him on 12, and it wins him the game if nothing else happens, and nothing else happens. So just about enough tricks in the end. Stop everything, and even with these, all of these cards, just missing that last bit of last piece of the puzzle. I guess another power icon or some more gold, not sure which one it was that was really lacking. Yeah, pretty epic game here, and I think a lot of near misses for Radek with this Lannister banner of the Kraken deck. Lots of top 4 placing and stuff like that. So finally a win with this deck, and I'm sure it won't be popular with some players. This deck is pretty obnoxious when it gets going, but not so much in this game. There was a bit of that Night Flyer early on, but the late game was pretty interesting. Both players desperately trying to get some of those unopposed challenges and power challenges through, and using tricks to stop the opponent. So pretty interesting in the end. Let's see. Yeah, Archivist could have saved the day in theory. There was a way to discard him, but I think getting him in play here would have been pretty big with that power icon. So yeah, good game. So let's see. We'll wait for this to be updated. So thanks for joining me live for a change, and I'll invite you, of course, to the upcoming tournament, the final one. So this is event 5 of season 5 of the Friendly Open Series. Like we had in season 4, it decides the winner of the entire season, so everyone is eligible to play. If you haven't pre-qualified, there will be 12 players who have qualified through the first 4 events, and then the Swiss rounds of event 5 will give us another 4 players to complete that top 16 cut that will be played like last time. So it's not next weekend, it's in 2 weeks, so it's a 1 week break here, and then it starts, as you can see, at 10 in the morning. That's GMT, which will be 11 for players in Central Europe, and favorable for anyone living in the East. Not so much for the Americans, unfortunately, but there are some that have pre-qualified. I think I'll check that later. So hopefully see you all there. I think we had something like 25 players last time in event 5 of the previous season, so hopefully we can get something like that next time as well. And if you have pre-qualified, you can play in the Swiss rounds as well. Your spot will be protected, so you will make the cut regardless, and then the top 4 players who haven't already qualified will also join the others. Okay, let's see if this has now been updated. Yep, here we have Radek, champion with Lannister banner of the Kraken. Nice to see Lannister winning. It's not been doing that well in recent times, so welcome in, even if it was this highly unpopular but a very skill-based deck, I guess, that is not that easy to play. So congratulations to Radek once again. Yeah, so thanks for joining me, and we'll see you all in event 5. Hopefully have a good night.